Today we are going to create this lovely rose picture. It's a scratch art technique, so let's get started. And to make this rose, what we're going to do is start out with a template. Since I'm doing a flower from the top, I'm going to use circles to give me the template that I'm going to work off of. And what these circles are going to do is help me place where my petals are going to be. I want the petals on the inside to be relatively small, and they're going to increase in size as we go. So what I want to do is take this layer and reduce the opacity, and that will help me to draw on top of it without any issues. Also, to help me guide things along, I'm going to come up here to the Actions menu, which as you can see is the wrench. We'll go over to the canvas, and then we're going to turn on Drawing Guide, and then we're going to tell it to edit the drawing guide. And I'm going to go over here to the symmetry, go into the options. I want to choose quadrant, but I want to turn off the assisted drawing. I want it just there for the visuals, not to actually duplicate anything that I'm doing as of yet. So now we've got our nice little grid going there. We've got our circles perfectly centered. And I want to choose a brush to use. So let's go over to inking. And in inking, I have the Technical Pen 1. I duplicated the Technical Pen, and I set the stabilization to 50% because I have a shaky hand. This helps me out enormously. And then we're going to start our rose. I'm just going to start with a figure 8 here. Might help if I were on a new layer. There we go. And then we're going to connect them up together with little wiggly lines. And in general, rose petals, when viewed from above, look like they're overlapping each other. Oh, by the way, this is set for 8%. It should probably be set for 5%. There we go. Let's try that again then. And we want these petals to get larger the further away from the center they get. And there we go, we have our basic rose shape. And what I want to do is put some leaves on here. So I'm going to go back to layer 1. And let's work out where we want to put leaves. I think I want to put one here. Let's put one here. Big one there, a smaller one here, a smaller one here. There we go, that looks good. So we're going to go back to layer 2. I'm going to create a new layer and put it underneath layer 2. Because what I want to do is make this independent of the main picture so I can color it differently later on if I feel like it. So behind our rose petals, I create a little loopy thing there. And then I'm going to go to the tip. I'm going to curve down and then move it back to my guideline. Curve it down. And we're going to keep doing that. And let's clean these up. I like to have closed lines. And we'll do the same thing going the other direction. And then for my vein system, I just want to indicate that there's something there. So I'm going to start thin here, and I'm going to thicken as I go. I'm going to set my size back up to 8%. Just to give it a slightly thicker line. And then just little indications. Of the vein system. And I'm going to zip through the rest of this so you're not too bored. And I will see you on the other side. Okay, and here we have our nice picture all drawn out. I'm going to turn the guidelines off. And we're ready to try to get some color into this. And I lost a little bit of footage there. Sorry about that. What I did say was I needed to clean up all of the overlaps and gaps left in my rows whenever I took the picture. So I've done that. And now what I want to do is to create a couple of masks. I'm first going to create a rose mask. Nope, actually let's create the leaf mask first. So I'm going to go up a layer, put that above layer, well, put it below layer 3. I'm going to do a select on the outside of layer 3. And invert that selection. Go to layer 4 and fill it. I'm going to do the same thing with layer 2. Let's create a layer 5. Go up to layer 2, select outside and invert. And then fill layer 5. I will gray this out so you can see what's going on. You can see that there that I have our leaf mask on. This is my flower mask. I'm going to select the flower mask. I'm going to go to the layer 4, which is the leaf mask, and hit clear. Then I'm going to select the flower mask again. And go to layer 3, which is the line work for our leaves. And I will hit clear again. Now I can move my layer 3 up here to layer 2 and merge those two together. And that gives us layer 1, which is the reference layer that we created. I've got layer 4, which is the leaves, and layer 5, which is the flower. And the reason I have those like that is so I can change colors later on. We're going to create 3 layers above layer 2. And we are now going to go to the brush that we created last week called Rose. How appropriate. Let's give it a name, color. Let's go start with orange. And we want layer 5, layer 6, and layer 7 to all have drawing assist on. And I'm going to start putting my image down here. And sometimes I will do a kaleidoscope like this. Sometimes I'll just put extra things in here. And you'll note there's an awful lot of white here. So I'm going to go to my hue, saturation, and brightness. Darken it up a little bit. Gives it a nice burnt umber color there. And then I will continue to fill out, just trying to get color in most of our areas. Let's go up to layer 6. And we will go to blue. And we will put that on. And then we will darken it. That looks better. Let's go to green and do the same thing. Since the leaves are already green, I kind of want that to be mostly on the outside. Let's see, if I take layer 6 blend mode, just run through these all real quick. Yep, I think they're all good. Alright, so we're going to pinch layers 7, 6, and 5 together. And then we're going to duplicate it twice. And then on the top 2 layer 5s, I want a blank layer above and a blank layer below each of those layers. And this is how we're going to end up changing colors. So this layer 8, I'm going to change into a color layer. And layer 9, I'm going to change into a color layer. Layers 10 and 11 are what we're going to use for our shading. So layer 8, let's fill with a nice red color. And then change that to clipping mask. Change this one to clipping mask. And then anything that I do with layer 10 here will get colored by that clipping mask. Layer 9 we're going to have as our green layer. And once again, clipping mask and clipping mask. And that way layer 12 is what we're going to color on. For now, we're going to go here to layer 5. What do I have in layer 11? Nothing. Let's get rid of layer 11. There we are. We got 8, 5, 10, 9, 5, 12. Alright, that's fine. Layer 5, I'm going to choose clipping mask. And that immediately puts that rainbow color onto our line work. Let's go up to layer 12. This is going to be the color for the leaf. Layer 2, is going to be the reference. Then we go to layer 12. And we're going to go into the airbrushing. We're going to use the soft brush. And let's see. And then we're going to go into the first leaf. Let's put this up to 10% because this is a big area. And everything that we shade on there gets the pattern. And let's reduce the opacity of this layer just a little bit so it's more of a shading as opposed to a color. Let's go up to layer 10. We can still use the same green here. We're going to reduce our brush to 5%. And we will shade each and every one of these petals. I'm choosing to shade the bottom right of each of these. And so you don't get bored, I will give you some music and I will see you on the other side. And once again, I'm going to lower the opacity of the layer I was just working on. And now this is where our masks will come into play. I'm going to use 2 fingers and slide to the right, or I'm going to tap on the layer and I'm going to choose Alpha Lock. Either way, they will have the checkerboard pattern behind them. Let's take this and use a dark red and do fill layer. We'll take this one and use a dark green and fill layer. Make a darker green. And that way you can have your scratch art with solid colors on it if you like. Or take your background color, make it very dark. And create a new layer. Let's duplicate layer 5 and layer 4. There we go. That works better. Merge down. Oops. Can't merge down until we take the alpha lock off. Alpha lock on. Fill layer. And now when we change our background color to anything else, we have the basic shading of our layer here. We can go to the hue, saturation, and brightness and change that up all that we want. And there we are. We have created an absolutely beautiful scratch art rose. And let's see if we can make it even more beautiful. I've duplicated my masking layers a few times just to see what different actions would do. If we take this leaf layer here, the leaf mask, and decrease the brightness on that, I think I like that. And let's do the same thing with the rose mask. I think I like that even better. Let's see. Yep, that's perfect. And here we are. We have a beautiful rose that we've created using scratch art technique. I hope you've had fun with this today, and I hope you have a wonderful day.